7 years ago, I started my MBA program at Yale, and it's been 5 years since I graduated, and it's still one of the best career decisions I've ever made. Now, if I were making the same decision today, will I still make that same decision? The answer is no. My MBA came at such a huge cost. It's one of the 200K MBAs, and I had to take $100,000 of student loans to fund part of my tuition and living expenses. So I don't think I will make the same decision if I were deciding under current circumstances. So if you are at the point where you are trying to decide whether going to grad school is the right decision for you or the right next step for you, I think there are four things you need to consider. One is economy, second is politics, third is the investment, and fourth is alternatives. And for economy, the specific aspect I'm interested in is the fact that a lot of the jobs that MBAs gravitate towards, those jobs, those companies are now laying off a lot of their employees. There's a lot of transformation going on, in a lot of industries with AI and all of that, and we're seeing a lot of layoffs. So if I were making the decision today, I would think about what is the probability that I would get the kind of job I need within 90 days of graduating from the MBA or master's program. If that probability is very low, I'll likely not take a huge loan to go to the school. The second thing is politics. If one of your goals is to go to school in that country and stay back and have a path towards residency in that country, you really need to think about how the politics has changed and how it's likely to change by the time you graduate from that program. Do you have a clear path towards citizenship or towards residency in that country? If that's shaky, or like you don't think in that specific country, say the US, you don't think you have a clear path, I would totally not put in a lot of dollars and time to go for an MBA there. The third thing is investment, and this is probably the biggest reason I said no, I will not make the same decision. I took $100,000 in student loans, but if you are deciding on an MBA program today or a master's program today, there are three kinds of costs within investment that I think you should pay attention to. One is the actual tuition and living expenses you will pay. The second thing is the foregone income, the income you would have been earning if you stayed at your current job or whatever job you're likely to get. The third one is the compound interest that you're losing out on just because you're not earning any income for 2 years. So when you think about all these three things, does it still make sense from pure financial aspect? Does it still make sense to go for this program? For me, no. I will not take $100,000 in student debt if I were going today. Maybe $20,000 for a top MBA program. They need to fund me, okay? They need to fund me, or I pay just $20,000 or something, but definitely not the 100K range. And the fourth is alternatives. Think about what is your real goal for going for this MBA program, and are there other ways you can still achieve that goal without incurring all this debt to go for an MBA program or for your master's program? Think about, if your goal is residency, can you just apply for the residency now instead of like first going to school for 2 years? If your goal is getting a job, can you build the skills in the next 1 to 2 years and just apply to those jobs, hire a career coach if you need? Like, there are so many alternatives across the world now that I would totally consider before thinking of like taking huge debts to go for my MBA program. So I think the main thing is you need to be really deliberate about your goal and think about, is this program the best path for me to achieve my goal?